What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Hayward here from Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, welcoming you to yet another episode of Good Times with Retro Rich and Fun for Five. That's right. Welcome to Friday, folks. We made it. It's time for some Evercade goodness. We're marching down the collections, doing Fun for Fives on all of the carts, and picking out some richest picks from each one of those cartridges. Games that really shine out, that I want to make sure that we spotlight. So in case you're interested in getting some collections, at least you'll have a little guide. This guy here will just tell you, hey, you know what, check out this game because it's really awesome. Or maybe just one of my favorites. Who knows? All right. So, which cartridge are we up to this week? Well, like I did hint all week long, it is a hot banger. It is Atari Collection 2 on the Evercade. Yeah! Yes! Very excited about this one. Atari 2600, 7800, etc. has been seminal in me and growing up. It is such a huge part of my formative years that it's just basically, this is just a celebration, right? Because am I going to find the fun in this cartridge? Yes, because my childhood is in this cartridge, as it was in the Atari Collection 1. A little spoiler alert, but we will still spend 5-ish minutes going through each game on the cartridge, like 5 minutes just doing the overview of the cartridge, I should say. And, I'm just going to shout out some games, and we're just going to have some fun. All right, let's do it. Let's get in here. All right, we're in the box. And right away, Rich's pick. I don't care what you say about Air Sea Battle. I really don't. It is a Rich's pick. And why is it a Rich's pick? Because it is just that game that, it is the late night with me and my cousins over my house, New Year's Eve, just chilling out, ready to, we just wanted to play this game, and we didn't even know why. It's so simple, right? It's just a simple carnival shooter, right? This is exactly what it is. But for whatever reason, we loved playing this game. We just did, and we would do just about anything to keep playing. I've told the story a couple times, so I'm not going to get too deep into it, but just to say, it's just awesome. There are many modes. There are many different games you can play. It's not just this thing that you're seeing. Like, oh, what's Rich talking about? Just air sea? You're just shooting these weird plane-looking things. What's up with that? There are more and varied stages that you can play. There's different things to shoot. There's different methods. You can have a level where your actual the gun turret, it actually can move left and right and up and down. There's you can put a little English on your shots using the difficulty switches, I think. There's all sorts of cool stuff. There might even be just a mode that you need to do. But anyway, this game is just I just think it's super cool because, like I said, I got so many memories. All right, let's move on because we gotta get through 20 games. This is gonna be crazy. Asteroids 7800 version. Now, here's the thing that I'm gonna say right now. It's gonna be controversial. This gets a 3/4 pick. It's not quite there. Why? Because there's another game on another cartridge that we're going to get to that I think is far superior than this. But in my mind, on Atari Collection 1, they just knocked it straight out of the park. Asteroids on the 2600. I think it feels better than this. I think it plays better than this. I think everything is better except for maybe the graphics. But it just doesn't quite, the nostalgia point doesn't quite get me there. It is a great game. If you have the collection, play it. But 3/4 picks for me. Let's move on. 2. Basket Brawl. This gets a Rich's pick. It's one of those games that I I never really even thought that I was going to like this game. But there's just something about it. It's like, it's got that like crazy tude. You know, like, and it's just, you know, you got people that are like throwing, like, you know, throwing punches, the referees throwing knives at you. Like, it's just ridiculous. This game is just, it's too much fun to just play. You know, it is kind of cool. So, and you know what? As a 7800 game, except for the fact that, you know, obviously the audio leaves a little bit to be desired. I'm just gonna say right now, as far as the as far as the graphics go, the graphics are pretty on point. So, all in all, it's a Rich's pick, and it is a good time. So we're gonna move on. 2, bowling. Boom, automatic pick, automatic Rich's pick. Again, why? It's one of those other games that was in my childhood. It's just something about it. You just sit around and you're playing a little game of bowling, and you've got like the very steady, you know, the very steady, like droning electronic sounds of the game, and you know, then you get your spare, and you know, your character does a little dance. You know, there he is. it's so cool. It's just, it's such a fun little game, and who knew, right, that you could have such a fun experience playing a simple bowling game. But you know, I just, for whatever reason, I mean, if it was this and video pinball, if I just wanted to sit back and play some, this is what I did. There you go. There it is. I wanted to get one of them in. All right, let's move on. But this is definitely Rich's pick. I mean, again, I don't care. I don't care what you guys say. You're like, what are you just? It's like silly bowling games. What are you picking? So 7800 version of Centipede is next. But again, I'm giving it a 3/4 pick. Why? It's just because I think that the 2600 version, although inferior in almost every single way as far as graphics goes, the sound I think is a little better, and sound matters to me when I'm playing games. And I think also, as I played a little bit more of the 7800 version, it's just, for whatever reason, the controls are just a little bit off. It seems a little slower to me than the 2600 version, and that's where my brain is. My brain had the 2600 version at home. I'm sure it would be opposite if I had the 7800 version and not the 2600 version. But that's what I grew up with, so 3/4 pick for that one. Let's move on to Dark Chambers. If I could give this 18 Rich's picks, I would do it. Thank you, OEB Pete. Thank you for showing me this crazy little game on here called Dark Chambers. Here you are, the Candlestick Man, running through a dungeon, blowing away all these different, like, you know, like, it's like the ghost that turns into the skeleton, that turns into the zombie, that turns into the, like, that dude. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's so weird and so cool. But also, I mean, who would have thought that there is a maze shooter game, like a dungeon crawler, on the 2600 that looks like this and plays like this? Like, that's crazy, right? Like, you never would have thought that there would be something like, you know, as far as depth in gameplay, this game goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. You know, I've gotten to level, what is it, double Z, and I think it keeps going. Like, it's crazy. The maps on this game are crazy. You know, you've got to gather things, like you have an inventory, like things that are not necessarily in 2600 games, or some 7800 games, to be honest. You know, you just didn't even think that this could be a case. Yet here you are, you know, playing and blasting your way through, And then, you get your improved weapons. You can level up in the game, so you can do more damage. You get shields, so you can you lose less life while you're in battle. You can get health pickups. I mean, this game is awesome. This game is rad. So anyway, before I get too deep in it, we got to move on. Because, there's 20 games on this card, so we got to go. But, like I said, if I could give, 12 richest picks, 18, 20,000 richest picks, 2,600 richest picks, it would be to Dark Chambers, probably my favorite on this card, for sure. Demons to Diamonds. Again, this is going to be controversial, because people like this game, because people understand how to play this game. I am not one of those people. Gives a half a pick. Gets a half a pick for me, because I just can't. I don't know. Desert Falcon, 7,800 riches pick. Again, I got to thank my buddy OEB Pete on this one for showing me that this crazy weird game exists. I never heard of Desert Falcon before the Evercade, and like I said, I played a whole bunch on my 2600, but never would have in my wildest dreams. Whoops. Thought I could reset the game. but also, be playing this wild little, shooter game that, for its time and for the 7800 does not sound bad. I will say, it's cool. It's very cool. I'm relearning how to fly in the game, of course. Got hit, but definitely cool. Got some really cool depth. There's objectives and all that kind of stuff in the game. Very, very cool. Definite richest pick. Human Cannonball. Now, I'm torn on this. I really want to give it a richest pick, but I think I'm going to hold off and give it 3/4 pick. And the only reason why I'm going to give it a 3/4 pick is because this is kind of it, right? You've got the one level, you got your guy, you shoot him into the thing, he makes it, everybody's happy, it's fun. And it is fun. It is really fun to play. Definitely something to check out. It is worthy of being on the collection, but it's just something is missing, right? That's it. That's all you got. Is just throw the guy in the thing. And, it's fun and all, but you can only do that so many times. So that's why it gets a 3/4 pick for me. We move on to Haunted House, which is an automatic richest pick. Automatic. The reason why is because this game is cool. It's one of those things. Now, as far as what you would think, oh, there we go. Oh, let me pick that back up. No. I thought you could turn it back off. All right. Anyway, nice. Almost there. Let's see. Are we good over here? So you're searching for the pieces of this cup. Oh, I think that's a weapon that you can get rid of people with. I want him to go away. There we go. No. Yeah, you put together the little cup thing, and then I think you have to get out of the house. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me go down. Nope. Don't. No. There it is. Alright. I forget where... Is this where you're supposed to exit? There it is. Nice. It's one of those cool games you can actually finish. There's an objective. Isn't it cool? It's neat. Anyway, that is Haunted House. Definitely a richest pick. It's cool. It's a cool maze game. As far as those games goes, I thought this was, as deep as some of these 2600 games get, with multiple levels and you picking up stuff and doing all that kind of thing, and then dark, whatchamacallit? Wow, Dark Chambers comes in and just annihilates you with awesomeness. So, all right, cool. We got to move on to Millipede. Now, Millipede gets a half pick. because there's Centipede. And I know Millipede's a different game. People might like it and all that kind of stuff. But nope, half pick for me. Because I like Centipede better. And the 2600 version of Centipede, I think, is my favorite. So, boom. Planet Smashers on 7800, getting a pick. Why? Because it's a really cool shooter. Another one of those games just came out of nowhere. And it's like, what is this? You got this ship that kind of looks like a, like some other kind of thing. And then all your enemy ships, you got like, things that are ships that look like stuff that came out of Star Trek or, some other kind of sci-fi thing. It's pretty cool. I mean, the shot sound is a little wonky. I will say that, right? It's not the greatest, but it's still pretty cool. It's a very cool game. That's why it gets the richest pick for me. All right, let's move on. 2, Radar Lock, which is a cool game that, all right, do we have? Yeah. So Radar Lock is going to get a 3/4 pick for me. Why? Because there's another game that we're going to get to in a little bit that I just spoiled that gets a better pick. But Radar Lock is cool. 3/4 pick for me. Still neat. Okay. Real Sports Tennis gets, let's give it a half a pick. It's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it is passable and playable on the 2600. Go to Submarine Commander. This one is one of those games. It's definitely maybe even a 1/4 pick. I don't know. It's a little bit of a miss for me. I know that there might be some people that like this, but when you're talking sub games, if it's not Sequest on the Atari 2600, I don't know if I want to talk about it. But it was a game that was on this cart, so I'm gonna give it a 1/4 pick just because. Sprint Master gets a half a pick, and the reason why is because again, it is a cool 2600 racer. It is one of those things that is the top-down racing games that I really like. I love to experience them, but there are so many better. As soon as you get up outside of the 2600, 7800 range, you get into that 8-bit range. It's just, there's so many dynamite offerings that, this just cannot live up to it. So, half a pick it is. Solaris is my pick right there. Solaris and Radar Lock are very, very similar in tone. Maybe not in gameplay itself, but I really like Solaris. You've got like this whole thing that you can, you're jumping through hyperspace all over the place to try to get like cool things done. You've got things, people you need to pick up. You've got enemies that you can whatchamacallit, you can, there you go. You got enemies you can shoot, you got points you gotta score, you got all sorts of fun stuff. It's a pretty cool game. Definitely one of those things that is kind of, there we go. We're getting into some battle with some TIE fighter looking sprites for sure. It's cool. So anyway, definitely cool game. Solaris gets the full richest pick. Check it out. It's a good time. All right, Street Racer. Now I'm gonna give this a 3/4 pick. And the only reason it doesn't get a full pick because this is another one of those games that just came out of nowhere for me when I was playing as a young person on the 2600. I used to like own at this game. I used to play it all the time. But why does it not automatically get a pick because of the nostalgia factor? Well, the reason why it doesn't get a pick because of the nostalgia factor is there is no paddle controls on the Evercade. Not yet, anyway. Maybe VS could solve that problem, but it's not there yet. And this is a paddle game. And why are you putting a paddle game on the Evercade without paddle controls? Is beyond me. So, 3/4 pick it is. All right. Wizard. A lot of people will like this game. I'm not necessarily one of them, but I will tip my hat to it because it is one of those games that is pretty cool. It gets a half a pick for me because I don't know. That's it. That's what it is. Not too much to say about that. It is cool. I like the fact that it's got that kind of like against the CPU strategy maze shooter thing. Like early FPS people might like look at this and go, "Oh, I guess I could see how programmers got there." And then of course we round it up with a richest pick, automatic, Yars Revenge. It is fantastic. This game is super cool, and it is weird and quirky and all those fun things, but above and beyond it, it is just a cool time to play this game. It's got weird lore. Like there was a comic book involved. Like it's really kind of crazy. I like the fact that like you're also introduced, so it is like an arcade horizontal shooter, kind of setup, right? But the base can come attack you. Your eventual thing is you're trying to hit the base with this like super laser thing. But this beam here is like you can't get hit by the thing that can hit you. You can get hit by the base though. While you're in there. And then you just gotta line up your shot and take out the base. It's just cool. You can play this game for hours. It's got a lot of cool design elements. Howard Scott Warshaw is the developer here. He's the creator of Yars Revenge. He's a cool dude. You might also know him as the creator and programmer of E.T. And Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's done a lot of cool things in the Atari space, but man, this game is so cool. It is really cool just to like sit around and play. And you can play it at a casual level. You can play it at a high level. Like all sorts of cool stuff you can do in this game. So that's why it does get the richest pick. That rounds out as we come around to Air Sea Battle again, as it rounds out the Atari Collection 2 on the Evercade. So let's go to the wrap up and wrap this whole thing up. And there we are, folks. It's Atari Collection 2. Loaded with richest picks. Going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 20. This is almost half the card is richest picks. I think I might have been even more than any of the other cartridges. I had to go back and check it out, but 9 richest picks out of this. I mean, come on. That is money well spent, as it's only like $20 and you get 20 games. It's $1 a game, and 9 of them are huge in this guy's heart. Plus probably many more that other people are liking. That didn't get the full pick from me. I'm sure people will say, hey, you gotta give some more picks to some of these other games because they're awesome. Huh? That's the cool thing, right? Everybody's got a different opinion. All right, cool. So what do you guys think? Speaking of that, let me know down below. What were your picks? That'd be kind of cool conversation to have. Speaking of conversations, keep it tuned. Next week on Monday, we're going to be dropping hints on the social medias about what the new community prompt is for Community Prompt Day, which is pretty cool. That's coming up next Tuesday, so don't miss it. All right, so with all that being said, we're going to slide into the end of the week with the friends. There they are. Give them likes, give them subs, give them all the cool things. Don't forget, OEB Pete. Check him out tomorrow for me and Retro KillDashNine. We're going to be on the Evercast with the Crow Continuum. He's looking like he's going to stop by and chat with us about some Evercade goodness. We're going to be talking about this fine guy right here, the Indie Heroes Collection 1, as we go through the second row of games that is on the back of the box. Should be a good time. So come check it out. Want some more Evercade while we're waiting? All right, well then, boom. There you go. Check them out. They're the friends from across the pond. Give them likes. Give them subs. Check them out. Go over to the Facebook group. Say hi to Roger and the gang. And it's all a good time. All right, folks. That brings us back to us here at Bacon Ice Cream Productions. We thank you so much for watching. If on the way out, you could hit this button right here. That helps the channel grow, and it'll be awesome. It'll be doing good things for great causes soon, as we try to get this channel all the way up to unlock its full potential. All right, cool. So, without being said, we will catch you next time for some good times. I'm Rich, and we will see you later. Take it easy, guys.
Team RTFC.BaconIceCream.com